So first question is, tell me about your background as a developer.
Um, I'd say this is my third year developing. I'm actually a software engineering student at Makerere University. That's in Uganda. So I would say I really got serious with mostly web development. So I've been mostly using plain JavaScript and yeah, it's been mostly plain JavaScript for me and a bit of web development ever since about 2020. So um yeah, I feel like that's mostly it. I have experience in JavaScript. I also do have Python. Um, and yeah, I feel like that's mostly that's what I'm really confident in. Although I am experimenting with a bunch of other programming languages, including Rust and a few others, but I feel like the other two are the ones which I'm really comfortable in.
Wonderful. Sounds like you have a lot up your sleeve. It's great. Have you built anything on blockchain before?
Actually, no, this was the first time. Um, I actually came across you know, building anything on the blockchain. It's interesting because at the beginning of the year, it was one of the things that I actually wanted to do. So it was kind of an interesting timing that yeah, that I found this inside a group, and I was like, yeah, I mean, this definitely checks out everything that I want to do within the year. So I went for it.
That's so cool. And why is it that you chose this project?
Um, well, initially, I think I chose, I don't remember which project I chose, but I think too many people took it, so I was given another one, and I looked at it at first, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a bit above what I can do." But also at the same time, I was thinking like, if it's going to be something that's extremely simple, then what's the point? Because I wanted to really learn as much as I possibly could, and yeah, I feel like ultimately I settled for the project because it actually touched on a bunch of things that I really wanted to learn. So things like data structures and algorithms, React itself, which I also didn't know much about until I started, and then also, yeah, Reach. So I feel like it captured everything that I needed to learn, and that's why I took it up.
Amazing. And I think I remember a conversation with you about like, hey, I didn't choose this project and you wanted to switch. But then you were like, you know what? I'm willing to take on this challenge. I'll stick to it. And I was like, wow, I was really impressed. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I
um,
just wanted to make your work a bit easier.
and also that's how you learn. And I love that you want to challenge yourself in that capacity. That says a lot about you. And I think that's great. Um,
Thank you.
so my next question is, what was your thought about like using the Reach platform to build the decentralized application?
Um, so initially, I guess it's a bit overwhelming because the documentation is quite large, and it's very hard to kind of get like your feet, how can I say, like for you to get an actual flow. So for example, if I'm maybe building like a website, I would say that, okay, I'll do the HTML first, and then maybe I'll put some CSS on it. But this was kind of like a whole new thing for me. So for me, I really wanted to know like, okay, what do I have to do first? So once I got that down and I realized that, there are a few steps um, to the whole thing. And then, like the Rich program itself is just building a skeleton of what you actually done, and having the checks and making sure that Reach actually verifies that all the information is actually correct. Um, Once I actually understood that, which sadly it actually came much later on after like a lot of time. But once I understood that, it actually became very easy, and um, so yeah, now I'm actually just cruising through. Um, so I would say that it's it's after you wrap your head around like the different, like the what what would I say, the methodology of how you're supposed to build the applications is actually very straightforward. And in the Reach program itself, you're just using like you're just building out a skeleton, and that's what you're going to use in the front end.
Great. And last question is, if you were given all of the time and all of the funds that you needed and resources in the world, what would you build on blockchain?
Yeah, I feel like actually this is something that I tried. I think I tried to apply for something like this in initially, even though I didn't have that much experience already with the Reach platform, but particularly in Africa. Okay, no, I won't generalize and say Africa, but I have seen certain parts of my country where donations are basically given out, and it happens that people don't really receive these donations because um, every single, what can I say? As the money moves down to the people, it keeps getting, you know, like should I say deducted? So by the time it reaches the person, it's either very little or like none at all. So it was kind of very evident during the COVID pandemic. And yeah, so for me, I I'm really about kind of solving problems in the community, and I feel like that's the biggest one I can think of right now, especially for like a third world country. So if I was given all the time and the resources and um, everything, at my disposal, I would really want to build a platform where, people can give out donations and these donations reach the people at the grassroots themselves, and they would have this money in their wallets, and definitely there would have to be some sort of sensitization um, around getting these people to actually use these wallets and know what to do and know how to like get the funds and maybe transfer them to like actual currency. But I feel like it's the most um, straightforward application for blockchain in this case.
What an incredible answer. Wow. Thank you. I